What an absolutely fantastic week it's been over at Giants for mods, mod updates, and new ones alike. As always, we're going to go through all of the mods this week so you don't have to and come up with the very best ones for your farm. First up is the enhanced loan system. This is a mod that I have been begging for since release. One of the biggest bugbears I have on the game is that the base game loan system is dire. It's awful, it's not realistic, and quite honestly at this point it's lazy. However, the enhanced loan system comes in as a massive saviour. What it does is it makes loans much more realistic by adding an interest rate and an actual finish payment time. What this means is you actually have some risk to it. You have to have enough money in your account by the end of each month to cover the repayments. It's a really, really nice system. It is based off of how much money you have in equity. Consider how much you can actually take as a loan, and it does tell you your maximum amount before you take the loan out. This mod is so simple and yet so fantastic. I really, really don't understand why it's not base game yet. Once you have installed the enhanced loan system, you will get this option at the very top of your page. As you can see, it shows the total amount of loans, any loans that you've paid off down at the bottom, special redemptions, which is where you can pay extra, but you can only do that once a month and you can only do 1 month's payment. And then you can take a loan or back. So if you hit take loan, you'll get this option come up here. You type in the amount, and as you can see, I have a lot of assets, which means I can take a lot of loans. So if I just go for 500,000 and then type in the period and the amount of years, so if we say 5, it will come up and calculate. So the interest is at 3.5. I've not seen the interest rate change yet. I don't know if that changes the more loans you get and pay off. I would assume it does. Lowers, raises, etc. Monthly repayments and repayment amount with the interest at the end of it. Then you simply hit take loan and it's there. One thing that is important to note with this mod is that you can't repay off the entire amount. You can't pay a special redemption until the first month has ticked over. That is something that you're going to have to keep in mind. But other than that, this loan system is so much better than the base game. It made me so happy I almost squealed when I took it, and it's going to allow you to do a much more realistic playthrough on your farm. Next up, we've got the coal mine. Now, I really like this mod because it adds a new dynamic and a new raw material for you to use on your farm. Again, leads to new production sites like diesel production, etc. What it allows you to do is it allows you to put the free coal mound down, which is exactly the same as the free debris crusher, where you place it and then you will get coal over every hour. Or you've got the DIY coal mine where you can build your own and then you can farm out your own coal to keep your productions running. It's not that expensive. It is a new dynamic to the game, but it does look like it will require a fair amount of space to put in. As mentioned, the coal mine shaft is a reskin of the debris crusher selling point. So it looks exactly the same. The only difference is that the stones that come out are obviously coal and are black. Now, I have not been able to find the DIY option for the coal mine in this game, but it's basically exactly the same, just with a painted area about. It is important to note that you will need the additional fill types mod to be able to place this down. But once you've got that, it is literally just a place and forget. It's a new production type, it's a new fill type, and it is a new piece of equipment that can make you some money. I really like it. It's very simple, very to the point. And again, anything that adds new productions and raw materials is going to be a win in my book. Another of the mods that I have been begging for since release, which is the excess animals sold. In 22, it was the enhanced animal system, but because they've actually made quite a bit of improvements to the animals, this was really the only thing that was left. And it does exactly what it says on the tin. Normally, if you have a full husbandry, it will just delete the excess animals. What this does is it takes those animals and it sells them at market, so you don't have to worry about selling them manually. It's a lot less work. You do earn a little bit less money as a result than what you would get if you were to sell them manually. It's less work, free money, and you can fill your husbandries up immediately to get the maximum amount of profit. Really like this mod, and again, just like the finances mod, it really should be base game. The first of the tractors that we're going to showcase this week is the New Holland 8340. This beautiful little tractor comes with 125 horsepower and a max speed of 40 kilometers per hour. It is perfect for those small farms and those old school setups that you really want to use. Seeing blue on the farm is always going to be a pleasure for value and usability on the farm. Look at how stunning this little tractor is. The New Holland 8340 comes at base with 125 horsepower, a manual and power shift gearbox, 227 litres of fuel capacity, and a top speed of 40 kilometers per hour. Comes with a minor amount of customization, but honestly, with a tractor that looks this good, do you really need to do much to it? You can, of course, change your wheel setup and wheel brand. You can have beacons on it if you want, and you can change the type that you've got. And you can have front mud guards, yes or no, and you can have them on right or left. Then you can change the main colour, which is always fun if you don't like the New Holland blue. Interestingly enough, the main colour actually only changes the inlets of the wheels. I think that maybe that could be relabeled somewhat. Overall, though, I really like this tractor. I think it looks fantastic and will really suit the farm if you're going for that old school vibe. Another classic to the old school setup is the Raba Steiger 250. I had the Steiger in 22 and I absolutely adored the thing. It was really good value for money, and it really did give that authentic vibe to your farm. This is not a huge amount of money to buy, but obviously it is limited by its age with its top speed and its power. For a large tractor, it really is going to be very useful for an early or older farm setup. The Raba Steiger is again another staple on the old school farm. It looks the part, it is quite the beast at 250 horses, has a manual gearbox, 780 litres of fuel capacity, and a top speed of just 25 kilometers per hour. Again, you get minimal customization with this, but with a tractor that looks this fantastic, you really don't need that much. You can change the wheel setup as always. You can change it so it's got beacons, yes or no. You can have one attacher or two, and then you can change the chassis colour as well. It really is a standout piece of equipment, and it was one of my favourite tractors to use on most startup farms in 22. Finally today we have the special edition Krone Big M. I absolutely adore the Big M. I think it's one of the most fun vehicles in the game, and this just gives it more usability and more versatility. It comes with a rear pinto and fully functioning rear hitch, which allows you to hook things like your baler and your forage wagon to the back of it to collect up your grass as you mow. It comes with extra engine options as well, and a few customization bits and pieces here and there. Taking something that is already absolutely fantastic and making it much more usable, if a little less realistic, is always going to be a win in my book. How do you improve on something that is almost perfect? You do that by making it perfect, and that is exactly what the modders have done with the Krone Big M. This special edition Big M looks slightly different with a different colour tone, as well as having an absolute shed ton of customization to go with it. At base, it comes with the 449 horsepowers, a variable CVT gearbox, 780 litres of fuel capacity, a 40 kilometers per hour top speed, weighing in at 16 tons and having a 10 meters wide working width. It also comes with a working speed of 35 kilometers per hour, which is much faster than the base game. However, like I said, it does come with an absolute ton of customization, including the engine setup, which goes all the way up to 900 horses. This takes the top speed up to 70 kilometers per hour. You can also change the wheel setup on this between different types that you want. You can change the window tint on it as well. You can have a rear PTO, which will allow you to operate things like your forage wagon and your balers. And then you can change all of the colors of this machine to make it as attractive, or in my case, as ugly as possible. It really is a fantastic piece of kit and something that I'm going to absolutely adore using. If you want something that's going to get all of your mowing needs done, especially on a 4X, this really is going to be the piece of equipment you need. And happily, it's not that expensive either, coming in at just £380,000 with the additional engine added on. So there you have it. That was this week's best mods of the week. Do let me know in those comments down below what your favourite mod was, if there was anything you feel I missed, and what you think next week's top mod will be. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video. Ciao, ciao.